Do immigrants have to register for Selective Service? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration attorney practicing law here in St. Louis, Missouri. Everyone knows that U.S. citizen males between the ages of 18 and 26 have to file with the Selective Service. Selective Service is the draft, that is that young men between the ages of 18 and 26 have to register for the draft and make themselves available to the U.S. Army and Armed Forces in case of national emergency. Now, of course, we haven't had a draft since the 70s, and I think there'd be a lot of political pressure against ever reinstituting the draft, but the fact is that there are people who are required to register for Selective Service. And like I said, obviously citizens have to, males between the ages of 18 and 26 who are U.S. citizens do. But how about immigrants? Do people here on student visas or asylum or green cards, do they have to apply with Selective Service as well? Now, registering with Selective Service itself is generally pretty straightforward. All you have to do is go online and fill out the form. A lot of places let you do it at the Department of Motor Vehicles. And so registration itself is not that onerous. And like I said, there hasn't been a draft in a long time, so there's really no reason to not register with Selective Service. And where this comes up is when you apply for citizenship, because they want to make sure that if you were required to apply for Selective Service, that you did in fact do so. All right, so the easy way to keep it in mind is that if people are staying in the United States as immigrants, they have to register with Selective Service. So young men between the ages of 18 and 26 who have their green card, or who came as refugees, or who came and obtained asylum in the United States, all those young men have to apply for Selective Service and register with Selective Service. And then at the same time, students or visitors do not have to register for Selective Service. So it's actually a pretty simple way to keep it in mind, is if you're residing permanently in the United States, either as an asylum seeker or a refugee or a green card holder, then you would have to register with Selective Service. Now, of course, we always tell people in asylum, who've gotten asylum or who have come as refugees, to register for a green card as soon as possible. So they should be doing that anyways, and they should be registering for Selective Service. All right, so what happens then when someone wants to apply for citizenship, but they never registered with Selective Service? Well, it is an issue that can come up in an interview. So this is definitely one of the things you want to think about when you're applying for citizenship. You want to make sure that you can check the box that you did in fact register. Now, if you go to the Selective Service system at www.sss.gov, you can put in some information about yourself and get a determination right there as to whether or not you did indeed register for Selective Service. So one of the things we always do is do that for our clients and include it in the application. And now if you haven't registered for Selective Service and you were required to do so, there are some ways that we can work on the case and try to develop facts that show that either you didn't know that you had to do it or you were unaware of it, that you have to provide a reason or explanation to the Immigration Service as to why you didn't register for Selective Service. I suppose that if you purposely avoided registering for Selective Service, that would be a problem, but we haven't had that situation come up yet. We have had situations where young men were here, they didn't know that they had to apply with Selective Service, and we were able to get them citizenship nonetheless. So it's not an absolute bar to it, but it is something that you're going to need the assistance of an immigration attorney to help you sort out what the requirements were, whether you fulfilled them, and if you didn't, why not. If you have any questions about this or any of the other aspects of applying for citizenship, feel free to pick up the phone and give us a call, 314-961-8200, or you can email me, jim@hackinglawpractice.com. Thanks.